Well, here I am at the most beautiful Burnham Overy Creek. It's one of my most favourite places, I think, and this walk I want to show you today is just a little stretch of the coastal path. That's the creek at Burnham Overy Staithe. Tide is in, the boats are out, and we're going to go for a fantastic walk that takes us up to the beach at Burnham Overy, all along this fantastic seawall. When the tide's out along here and along all the creeks that you walk along on the Norfolk Coast Path, you get amazing wading birds. It's really lovely, so don't forget to bring the binoculars. I can see some oyster catchers, terns at the moment. I mean, just look at that. Oh. Very easy walking, as you can see. It's a nice compacted path. And I'm just going to follow this up to the dunes, where the dunes will part and you'll have the most amazing vista. The difficulty on a day like today, when it's so beautiful, is to keep walking rather than watching and standing still and looking. And although you've got this lovely creek on the left, you've also got on the right amazing water meadows, and the wildlife on there is usually very good. You'll often see birders with their binoculars or their, I don't know what the technical term is, their monoculars, is it? I don't know. Someone can let me know in the comments below. You know, the different birds you're going to get on the freshwater meadows rather than the seawater. I would say that is unique Norfolk landscape, really. Salt marshes, or North Norfolk landscape perhaps. Salt marshes, creeks, sand dunes, water meadows, huge skies, and yes, fairly flat. Now we're coming into the sand dunes. This is now also the Holcombe National Nature Reserve, and this goes all the way to Holcombe Beach. Dogs on leads, because there are obviously at certain times of year nesting birds. This is called Gun Hill, my favourite bit. You can either walk down there in the sort of valley on firmer ground, or you can walk along the beach all the way to Holcombe, whichever tickles your fancy. Both are beautiful. It's windy. I hope you can hear me. Doesn't matter though, because I'm walking the Norfolk Coast Path, which I just love. Look, you can't get better than that today. This is at Gun Hill, just, as I say, just up from Burnham Overy Staithe, and this now takes you all the way to Holcombe and Wells. So I'm just going to walk along here for a bit and enjoy it. And if you're enjoying this video, why not give it a thumbs up? If you're watching it on YouTube, give it a thumbs up, a like. And the other reason for showing you this is because I organise walking holidays in Norfolk along this particular stretch, or not stretch, this particular path, the Norfolk Coast Path, and the Peddar's Way. So have a look on my website, either norfolkwalkingholidays.com or explorenorfolkuk.co.uk, and I can help you enjoy this beautiful scenery. I'll book your luggage transfer, I'll sort your accommodation out, and all you have to do is turn up and walk. What could be better, particularly if you get weather like this? So if you're actually walking the Norfolk Coast Path, and as I've been doing, walking along the beach for a little bit, it gets quite tricky walking with soft sand, so you can come down to the other side of the sand dunes and walk along the flat, firmer ground of the dune of this sort of valley. And it's slightly out of the wind as well. Today anyway. The coastal path, the Norfolk Coast Path actually, is very well signed all the way from Hunstanton right the way around the coast to Hopton-on-Sea, which is on the Norfolk-Suffolk border. They expanded it. The Norfolk Coast Path used to go from Hunstanton to Cromer, and then in order to sort of sort out this England Coast Path, they expanded it, and I think Norfolk was one of the first counties to have it expanded. It's all beginning to join up, and it now stops at Hopton-on-Sea. If you're coming to Norfolk, you can have a look at the website that I've done called Explore Norfolk UK, and that has many things on, places to visit, things to see in Norfolk. But here you can see, if I turn around, you'll see where I'm heading. I'm heading towards, where are we? There, those pine woods, and they're all part of Holkham Nature Reserve, and you can find a page on Holkham Hall and the splendour of that on Explore Norfolk UK. You can also find all my walking information on that website too, under the tab Walking Holidays. Norfolk Coast Path and Peddars Way, which is a national trail. It starts in Thetford, or just outside Thetford, and comes all the way up to the coast, and then joins the coastal path to go all the way right round to the border of Norfolk and Suffolk. And you'll find all the information there. And one other thing, while I'm on, there's also a Norfolk Walking Holidays website that I have got that's just dedicated to walking the coastal path and the Peddars Way, and one other path called the Weavers Way, which is in the Broads, and that's on norfolkwalkingholidays.com. One thing about the coastal path is that if you like bird watching and flora and fauna, there's lots of that. You'll be inundated with bird life, and you know, the birds you see on the coast and in these woods coming up in the dunes. It really is fantastic. And also you pass on the Norfolk Coast Path, you pass RSPB Titchwell, and if you wanted to have a rest day there, we can organise that, and then you can spend a day visiting the site at Titchwell. And the same at Cley. There's Norfolk Wildlife Trust Cley Nature Reserve, Cley Marshes, and that's purportedly one of the best UK bird watching sites. So there's plenty to see for bird life. I love all these little new pine trees. Someone will be able to tell me in the comments below. I don't know whether these are self-seeded or actually planted. That's Holkham Beach. This is great here because you've got two options. You can either walk along that amazing beach to over there called Holcombe Bay, or you can come inland and up these steps and a little boardwalk which takes you to a flat path, which I'll show you in a minute. And even better, look, there's a bench which I'm going to sit on and admire the stunning view. And in the distance there you can see the water meadows, marshes of Holcombe Estate. And there's also a little bird hide here which looks out over to the marshes. This is quite nice if you want a bit of shade from the sun. Quite a nice and varied stretch this, because you've had the seawall from Burnham Overy up alongside the creek, then the beach and the sand dunes, and now this little wooded bit. And here we are at Holcombe, which is where Lady Anne's Drive, where everyone parks to come to the beach. So it can get quite busy, but there is a little fantastic cafe here called The Lookout. The Norfolk Coast Path carries on down there, but I'm going to have a pit stop here. It's a great place to stop. And we've reached Holcombe.